Today's lesson is on the FFA emblem, its symbols, and its meaning. We're really happy that you've chosen to be in our agricultural science courses, and part of the requirement, as you know, is be involved in FFA. And I continue to tell students, really just don't get involved just because of this thing or that thing. I want you to understand the organization itself because it has so much to give to young people, and they never make an apology for making that requirement, primarily because you get so much out of it. But before you can start harvesting those things that it has for you, I think it's really important that you understand the organization, the core foundations, and the core beliefs, so that you're never surprised as you go along. So as we go along this path of FFA in your four-year career, one of the things you're going to constantly come across is the FFA emblem. Whether you go for scholarships or awards, at some point in time, somebody's going to ask you, what is the FFA emblem and what does it mean to you? So here we're going to go through each of the symbols and give you an opportunity to learn a little bit about it. Well, let's just look at the emblem in its totality. You can see there's a lot of very unique things going on in that emblem. At first it looks kind of random, but it's really not. And I would encourage you to go to my FFA playlist and look at the 4-minute video on the history of the FFA jacket. And it's really interesting because they interview the gentleman who designed it, so you could see and understand what he was thinking as he was trying to put this very iconic piece of vintage clothing on your back. And it's important that I think that you get an opportunity to see that, and I think it'll make a lot more sense. But anyway, the emblem has 6 very distinctive symbols, and I'd like to show it to you right now. The first one we have is the cross-section of the ear of corn, and it represents unity. And unity, they chose corn as that symbol of unity because it's grown in all 50 states. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Hawaii? Even Hawaii? And I would say yes, because the reason I know that is one of my former students was a manager for Pioneer Seed Company, and she was in charge of the marketing and processing of corn that was grown in Hawaii. So she actually lived in Hawaii for a couple of years just to manage the corn crop. So I definitely know that corn is grown in even Hawaii. But the cross section of corn, if you take a look at it, it's very distinctive. And this is the one that most students overlook when you look at the emblem. They say, "Where's the corn? I don't see it." Well, if you look really closely, here are the kernels, right there. And of course, that's the cob portion of it. So that is the ear corn, which stands for unity. Our next symbol that we want to look at is the rising sun. The rising sun really stands for progress. It's an opportunity for you to have a kind of another chance, another opportunity for each new day. So progress is very important in the FFA because it gives you another chance to take a risk, another chance to design or learn something new. So one of the things that I always try to stress to my students is it's really inexpensive and it doesn't cost much to take risks in high school. When you get older, obviously it does. So we want to create confidence with all the activities and things that we do in our chapter so that you can gain the confidence to take a few risks so that you'll become more confident in your decision making. Our next symbol that we have is the plow. If you take a look at the plow, it doesn't look like much. It looks pretty low-tech, and it is. John Deere, sometimes it's kind of debated if it was John Deere who actually designed the steel plow anyway. But if you take a look at it, and if you've ever tried to harness one of these, it's really, really difficult. And if you look, its symbol, it really talks about labor and tillage of the soil. A couple of things that are important about labor and tillage of the soil. One of them it was very laborious to run one of these. You had to stand basically behind these handles right here. You stood right here and held all those handles, and you had to balance it. You had to keep it in the furrow, and without the turning of the soil, you probably weren't going to be planting much. So the plow really represents the foundation of our country, the backbone of being able to be productive in the agricultural business. So this particular symbol the plow represents for labor and tillage of the soil. It takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of commitment to be able to make your business grow or for you to grow as an individual. Then if we go to the next symbol, that's the owl. And that's one of the features that students actually see first, that and the eagle. But here is Mr. Owl standing right there. And obviously represents, for centuries, the owl always represented wisdom. But you know, wisdom doesn't come without a price. And that price is you basically have to learn. You have to be in the classroom gathering knowledge. So another key feature of this would be the knowledge. So besides wisdom, you have to, of course, gain knowledge first. And that knowledge comes from you being in the classroom and you studying and learning new things. And that knowledge, when you apply it, then becomes wisdom. And that's what's really important for us in the FFA, is that we teach you skills, we teach you facts and knowledge so that you can use them in unique and wonderful ways to create something extremely original. Our next one is the eagle. And if somebody were to ask me which is the most distinctive thing that the students see, that would be, of course, the eagle. Now, it's our national symbol as well. And what it really reminds us of is freedom. And if you think of an eagle soaring over landscapes looking for prey, there's a lot of freedom in that. And our imagination kind of conjures up flying over large landscapes and being able to see the vastness of where you're flying over. So this particular symbol, the eagle, represents freedom, but also what I think that it shows is our national pride in our nation about being Americans, and that hard work and dedication that we've also kind of paid the price. All those folks who have paid the price before us, like the FFA Creed says. So this is, of course, the eagle, and it represents our freedom. Now, as you walk down that path, one of the things that you're going to notice, of course, are the words: Future Farmers of America and Agricultural Education. And, you know, in the 21st century in education, we're looking for a model, something to say, what can we do to inspire our students? And you know, since 1928, the model has always been there. Yes, it's kind of strange to think that we've had the model in front of us all this time, but it's always been there. And agricultural education has been the doorway in which you can walk through to get hands-on project-based education, but also a very solid academic foundation. But the one thing that FFA provides that many others don't is the student organization, the Future Farmers of America. When you combine the knowledge you learn in the classroom and the opportunity you get for SAEs, projects, and combine that with leadership training, it's really a tough combination to beat in terms of getting the best out of education you possibly can. So I believe the words on this, agricultural education and FFA, really stand for a higher quality of education that you can get. So there you have it, folks. There it is. And as you travel down your path in life, we hope that through this little presentation, you'll be able to understand the FFA emblem and its meanings. Thanks.